channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another banger, right? But I'm not prank nobody. We're going to talk about education and we're going to speak on the disparity among schools.
We should cut out the...
my son.
Yeah, cut out
the... Me use one big term. You know,
difference. But difference is a bigger word, it have more letters.
No. Anyway, yeah. So we are going to talk about good schools versus bad schools and if there should be such terms.
Cut it out.
Alright, go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Alright, well, as we all know as Jamaicans, I just really believe that the GSAT common entrance idea of 90% everybody go to school here. I think we should just start going to school based on your location.
Right. But Damion, that is going to be very difficult because of the culture. And you know Jamaica with chicken because fake vaccination cards are being sold. People are going to give fake address. So if I want my son to go to Calabar, I just give the address at the primary school that he goes to. He lives in Calabar Muse.
No man, but
no sir.
You see, overall I'm really in my heart believe. So we need to probably get mature. As a poor country, we cannot do 15 things one time. It better we use, and that's why, as we were saying in one of your videos before, a coalition government or a consensus to say this is our goal for the next 10 years.
Right.
Fix the education system, because if some schools don't have old boy system, the Calabars, the Merle Grove, they wouldn't be good schools.
Yeah,
they'd be average run-of-the-mill schools.
True.
And when you look on the top, what do you call it, the list of how many schools pass, have students
5
pass,
subjects or more,
about 60 or 70 schools.
English.
60 or 70 schools. So when you really look on it, out of 300 and something schools, you only have about 70 good schools that are doing them supposed to do.
Because the government keeps sending the quote-unquote brightest set of kids to
Calabar,
the preferred schools.
To Calabar.
And then, boy, that are going to need a lot of cultural barriers to be broken down, you know. Because if, say, uptown people, them live say, Smokyville or whatever, which is in proximity to Pembroke Hall High School, if them people pass the Pembroke Hall, them are going to use them connections and them links and move them to a preferred school or send them into private school. I don't think none of the Issa and the Azan them are going to people to come to Pembroke Hall High School because they are not going to see Pembroke Hall High School as a top tier school. But I think the government should mandate, if they're going to do this, that if you pass for any school, you have to stay there.
But overall, I think in terms of schooling, we need to break certain barriers. And we just think that our education system is old, because we still teach reading, writing and arithmetic just like in a slavery. We need to realize that, and that everybody want to learn geo or history. You just have some people who just want to learn a skill. So we need to start having schools based on what? Just like in Germany, by the time you're 13, 14, 15, you know what you want to do? So you have schools that cater to you. And then everybody wants to go and learn RE. Some persons want to learn about music. So we should have schools for people's wants, and also schools that can teach you how to fill the job market, not only here in Jamaica but elsewhere. Because everybody can fix a house. Don't all your barber can be a mason. But is he certified?
No.
So after high school, person should start getting certified so that at 18, when you're an adult, you can just move right into a job rather than you just have CXC, which basically are going to enforce you to go back to school again.
But I think the government tried to do that, but it's half-hearted because they try to do it with the NCT vet. With some schools, like the school that I am at, them try to do the skill with the CXC, but we really applaud what you say, and a lot of persons, well not a lot, but some persons have been crying for it for a number of years now for Jamaica to have specialized schools. Not just everybody, I'm pass for a high school, I'm going to do the history, geochemistry, biology, integrated science, maths, English, IT, Spanish, because not everybody likes that, not everybody can manage that, but they should have specialized schools. I can't believe in Jamaica there's no high school for the performing arts. And we are so big with music and dance. It's a travesty. I think there is one agricultural school, I may not even know how it run. If them down there the Spanish and all of them something there too. And it's not straight agriculture. We should have a skills training school and schools that specialize in certain skills, so you don't just have one school where do all of the skills there.
Exactly.
You have specialized schools, so if people know say, I want to be a plumber, or I want to be a mason, that's where I go. So if I want to be a welder, I want to be an engineer, that's the high school that I'm going to. If you go do that, if I want to be a singer, a DJ, or a dancer, that's the school that I'm going. A modern time now, we're supposed to move past parents saying, oh, you can't make the money out of singing, you can't make the money out of dancing, or a dance if you have got turn plumber or welder.
You can even where you are. If you can get some students to learn even video editing, YouTube is a way.
True, people can make money off of YouTube. I've got my first check from YouTube, right? I can't talk how much we get. Not from this channel, but from my social studies channel. I got my first check from YouTube. I got $145 US, and that was almost 22,000 Jamaican dollars. Right? That was my first YouTube check, and I have another YouTube check that has been sent out in the mail. Mark you, I've been doing the YouTube for a year still, and I get 2 payments, but it's better than no payment. And the thing with my social studies channel is that the viewership is seasonal. Because you know it's mostly when it's around exam time, you're going to get a lot of traffic. But like no, nothing really going for the channel. But if you can find a niche on YouTube and get your channel monetized, people like Tananaya, Quiet Perry, them, Rush Cam, China K, them people that make whole heap of money when you hear them Tommy Chin and Wayne Marshall, when you hear them make 2,000, 3,000 US per month. So if you can find a niche on YouTube, you can make a money at modern time. There are so many ways that you can make money outside of just, oh, me have to go to school and me have to have CXCs. Get to me, I say, if I had known what I know now, when I got to school, you see me when I applied to Michael, all they need was 560, including English language at the time. Maths was the mandatory. You think say all biology when me get 5, I'm gonna waste my time and do biology and I do accounts and POB and them subjects when they're necessary. I would have just done what I needed. So no, we can't do maths. Someone do maths.
So maths.
No, at the time maths was mandatory at Michael. Remember, unless you were doing maths. You don't know what? Remember secondary ed we're doing and not primary. So all I would have done was English, social studies, history. Would have probably do RE, we're easy, and probably PE. They never have a PE in a 6E. Remember, so we're old, we're not so young. Some would have probably do either accounts or POB. We wouldn't do the office procedure and do biology with it. We made all of them sitting there for when necessary, and we need just 5. So I would just focus on 5 CXCs.
How much subject you get? We do 15 subjects.
Yeah.
We want 15 subjects, but you only. I know the funny thing. Most of these persons with 20 subjects, they're going to sit down at university with man with 5 and the man with 5.
And I do the same thing.
And I'm tired to see lecturers come because I think it was even in this year. Some lecturers were saying you have CXC stars, but when them come university, they can't function.
True.
So it's like our system not propel Jamaica forward. We're just making persons that just have subjects, but it's not marketable. And we need to ensure that the schools are preparing the young people about life, to ensure that they understand time and money.
Schools need to teach life skills. Before we go on about talking about life skills, I'm talking about we need to have somebody in the schools that is advising the children, because based on what you are going to do and where you are going to go, certain things are not necessary. You don't need to do 15 subjects if you have to be one teacher. You need 5. Maths and English is a must, and the subjects that you are going to specialize in. You see me? So if you are going to say you are going to be one maths teacher, you have maths, English, and 3 more. Get what I say?
Physics here.
Certain schools, certain universities, you don't need CAPE to go there. You don't need CAPE for UTech. You don't need CAPE for Michael. You don't need CAPE for NCU. So probably you are probably the only one in Jamaica that sticks out for CAPE. So if what you are going to study, you're not going to UE, don't waste 2 years, go to 6th form.
Here you go.
And when you could have do 2 years at university. You see that? Instead of you sit down 2 years in a 6th form, you get 5 CAPE, you get 6 CAPE, that are money. time, energy when you could have done 2 years
Yeah,
in university.
Some people have this notion, oh, you're too young to go to university. No. If you can remain focused through high school, you can.
Yeah.
Because even in Japan, you have young 7-year-olds that make codes for this, do animation.
True.
We're not creative, so when you look at it, our schooling is just producing a linear pattern. Lawyer, doctor, teacher.
Yeah, because those professions are looked up to. To say, oh yeah, this, that. I have a grade 9 student, right? And he's doing in bad bang one time at the coding and all of them or something. A student like that, you know, I placed him in my AEP program. It was an advanced program and he did Cape Unit 1 tourism, right? And him say I'm gonna do IT next year. I think a student like that is brilliant. Right, I'm gonna have one Cape already. I think even before him do the Cape, him could have do IT from grade 9 and easily get a grade 1. So you see me, that now him probably could have do IT and say social studies and probably RE. We're easy, you see me? And then at grade 10 him do maths and English, and by grade 11 him out of school and gone one place go and get one IT certified and skip grade 11. Because then grade 11 wouldn't make sense to him. Because computer thing him I do.
That's why the schools for specific skills would be needed, because to be a complete technician, you could do smaller courses, device care, customer service, things that actually make sense. Because even when I was going to school, my teacher, Pyre Square, I'm like, what the hell, what are you talking about? That don't make sense to me. And matrices, a pair joke when I want to make noise and matrix. What we need to learn about biology if we're not
Pythagoras theory.
So, and God bless them I get that degree in a maths. Because if I ever tell you my original grade,
I never tell you the maths because I can't do that. From basic school I can't do maths. Them say it's a mind block, but
some of the maths them just not applicable.
And some of them working out, they might take 1 and 2 pages. I need functional maths so I can divide, multiply, subtract and add. That's what I need with maths. But back to the original argument, because we're going all over the place, I talk about schools. All schools should be on a level playing field.
So that
you get what I say?
Proper investment. So if you were a mature country with a mature, sensible leader who can speak and unite people, we would have the leader come out and say, you know what, just like I think in Peru, them cancel them government army and say instead of spending for army, let's spend towards education. Instead of doing 10, 15 projects, let's just do 2. Focus on education and health. Make it perfect so that everything is on a level playing field. Because no matter about technology, you know what school have light?
Yeah.
You know what school have proper working socket?
True.
Classroom them dark and hot.
True. And we can testify to that. And two, in Jamaica, one of the major problems with the education system is that when the government says that they are improving education, most times is that they are requiring more from teachers. If you realize that is the government's way of fixing education. Because now the big old portfolio what we have to do and how many things you have to record that the student has a problem with reading, that the student has a problem with pronunciation.
As a teacher, were you trained to diagnose?
No!
So then when you look at it, this is even a next problem I have. They want you to go to professional development seminars, and when you develop yourself and you have these competencies, you're not paid for it.
So true.
When other professions you get certain competencies, you are paid for it.
So true. You see, with the portfolio, I can argue about the portfolio.
But anyway,
you have to have some background in either literacy or special education to get a high mark with the portfolio, because what it is asking, you have to be specially trained. It requires specialized training to do all like where you must do action research, you know, on the students to see what level they are at and the level where you bring them to, and you have to observe and you have to make notations. So you have to make this and make journal and make portfolio record things. At the end of the year you need to have a big book with all your things then documented, and you have the evidence to show. So I really some special education and some literacy.
You know what the next funny thing too? When a teacher documents all those stuff, what next? we don't have enough remedial.
Yeah, and the ministry is not using the information because all they do, they just look on your portfolio and give you a grade and send up the paper to the ministry. But the information, the research that you actually do is not used by the ministry. The information is not, look, at my school they still do the diagnostic test. Not the diagnostic, the grade 9 achievement test.
That's it.
Right, yeah, they still do it at my school. What is that information used for?
So me I grade 9 and I...
Okay. I did it too. I'm gonna hear gunfire about the results up to this very day. Why is that necessary?
But I would love a minister to answer this question. When you send persons to do PEP and them get 10%, and when you pack up all of the 10%ers in one school without giving them additional resources, without giving specialized teachers, because you cannot teach them like regular students. That's what we're doing now.
Very much so.
How you expect them to be passing 5 CXE subjects when they haven't understood the basics?
Let me tell you what the ministry expects. The ministry expects when they send these quote-unquote special students to regular schools or underperforming, low-performing schools, they expect, they expect the regularly trained teachers to go and develop the skills necessary to reach those students. When them now pay them teacher they're extra, nor are they giving them the time, because you're expected to come to work, but all of these skills where you need for acquire must be outside of school time. You can't tell the principal say, I'm coming in today because me I got to use the time I learn that. The man say, no, come at school because I work on your class, blah blah blah. And there's no special incentive when you use those things. I'm a trained literacy specialist, even though I'm not working as a literacy specialist. And I'm at one of those schools where them send the bottom of the barrel, picking them come give me more time. Me have to use up my literacy skills and enough money. Pay for my degree because it's a specialized degree. But me not get paid for. But because you want to reach the quote-unquote special students where them send, you have to do a lot of reading and a lot of research and come up with unique ideas, because as Damion said a while ago, you can't teach them the regular way, else them not going to learn. And two, remember add that the ministry is expecting that we are supposed to teach those students that are getting 10% for their average the same history, the geography, the chemistry, the physics, the maths. Can you imagine a student who is not reading at the grade 7 level but probably reading at grade 1, grade 2, grade 3? Some of them are prima and pre-prima level. They are reading, You get what me I say? Them expect them to do 13, 14 subjects. When I say, no, this can't work, we need to group the whole of them pick me, take 30 of them or 25 of them, put them in a special class where them do 5 little subjects. Most are it a skill and some of them are some basic reading and maths, and them say no, we don't have the resources to do this. So how on God's green earth we're supposed to get them to the CXC at grade 11?
But my question, who came up with that whole notion of failing schools? It was a Minister of Education.
Yes.
So if you're not giving schools, how much money a school get a year time?
I
About
don't
90
know.
million?
You would have to ask a principal.
Yeah, probably. But let's say they get $12 million for a year. They don't get that $12 million one time, right?
Me no know.
I don't them get the $12 million one time. And that $12 million should pay for aesthetics, where the schools are judged for when them come around and do them judging. You have to ensure say them have programs for sports that can be expensive.
So extracurricular,
So that is why only Calabar, JC and KC can win champs, and only Veer, Ace and
Woolman's have won it in 2010.
No, Woolman's win it every 100 years. So we can keep them out of it. But yes, so that's why the Calabar, that's why the Calabar, KC and JC and only the Veers, and also they have strong old boy. And for football, it's only a few great schools because of. So when they look on it, if schools aren't strong with old boy, how are they going to fund all these
and
programs?
Old girls, though,
and old girls, yes, and old girls. My apologies. How are they going to be providing for the students' needs, especially because I've been to schools that don't have internet, and everybody making it seem like learning loss is a new thing now. When learning loss,
COVID just show it up more.
Yeah, show it up. Because it's only 60 or 70 schools getting students with 5 or getting over 40%
Yeah.
people pass 5
subjects
or more.
including math and English.
So on to the other. So when you
But
look
as
at
you say, it's a minister came up with the term failing schools. But
again.
any minister who came up with that term should be ashamed, because how can you be the minister of education but yet still you are failing schools that you have autonomy over? It means that something is wrong with you as the minister. You have the autonomy, you know. Are you in a parliament? Are you in the chair? Are you give the go ahead to policy? No, sir. And the Minister of Education give the go ahead to policy. He say, yes, Prime Minister, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Look here, quote unquote failing schools should not be getting the same level of funding as other schools that are not failing. For example,
like 10 times.
For example, Donald Quarry High School should not be getting the same 10 million the Campion get. I mean, I say for reduce Campion 10 million, you know, but Donald Quarry is supposed to get 30 based on the need that is there.
And double the amount of teachers.
Yes! Based on the need that is there. And specialized teachers need to be there, because you can't. Let me tell you something. Some of the teachers at say Campion and Immaculate, I hear one of them one time say that their job is harder than us because the students there are so bright, so they have to be on the tip of their toes and they have to do a lot of reading and a lot of research to keep up with the students. And I can guarantee you that if they get a student from one of those failing schools, they will not be able to manage. Because when you go to Immaculate and Campion and Woolmers, right, those students are bright and they are aware, because I can guarantee you, if you say to your students at Immaculate, alright, I don't know about geo, but we can't talk about history because both of us are trained, right? So we're looking at Toussaint's contribution to the victory in the Asian Revolution, right? Why they were victorious. Chances are the next morning when those girls at Immaculate or those boys at JC come to you, them can tell you, say, yes man, Toussaint, he was trained already, so he have the requisite skills and he was able to inspire the people and them listen to him and mark you. Them are gonna make some connection to some other revolution, you know, and them are say, yeah man, just like orchestra people, them listen to him on the second attempt, you see me, and them are talk about what happening in Syria and probably what happening in Afghanistan, because those students are aware and them know what I want. Chances are somebody from the failing school, I don't want to call the school name. No, them are going to say, what is a Toussaint or something where you cook?
But look, what even this? We say we need to change this culturally. We have one mother. You pass for Arden, me pass for, let's say, Haile Selassie.
Yeah.
Our mother are going to support you more.
That is me. So true.
And the mere fact that I pass for Haile Selassie, I just feel worthless.
So true.
And that is why I say, if we don't have leaders who are going to get rid of those stigma, because there are many kids, them feel ostracized knowing that them go to a school, them don't have the internet, them never see a projector, them never go on a field trip, them no do a sport, nothing there. It's just to come school and left. And
like
the school now it's just an end the school now the money for the this.
And no extracurricular activity, because some schools them do swimming, them have them nice, because when I go to Andrews, you know, St. Andrew High School for girls. I can't say St. Andrew, you know, I have to say St. Andrew High School for girls, right? Them have them nice pool up there, where them do them swimming, them do them lawn tennis. Yeah, to me I say, them do them whole heap of them dance and them this and them that. A lot of other schools they don't have the resources. Right, some schools it is so difficult to get the students to be a part of extracurricular activities. Get to me, I said it is so difficult. While other schools, them I feel probably a back off somebody pick me and say, no, so much you can another one club, I'm gonna join this, go do this, go do that.
Look at even schooling again. Can a hungry man learn?
No,
we don't even have a school feeding program.
So true.
Because
Bun
and Bulla is not even something we should be boasting to we give kids. Because it's not
successive
really
governments over the years have not cared enough for education, because I know what is the problem too is sometimes you the viewing public, some of the parents, because government no say we don't like teachers, so almost everything teachers get the blame and the governments are never held responsible. Remember sir, the government make policy One of the primary function of the government, the prime minister is controlling the executive, which is responsible for setting. But when you hear them say they meet a cabinet of people, a policy them going to discuss and setting up.
But look at this lie with them love. Let's call it a lie. When they say that they reduce the teacher to student ratio,
that's upon paper.
that is average. And as a Winston Churchill says, statistics lie. If you want to tell a lie, use statistics, because 3% of 4 will always be 92. And we can do it with, if you even say 7% of 100, the percentage will always be low. So when you look at it, how many schools will ever have 1 to 15? Because when you have
1 to 25, then they say.
And almost all schools that I have been at, in every form class, you have at least 35 students.
Yeah.
And to successfully teach certain subjects like the Spanish, you need a class size of 15.
Yeah.
So,
True.
Based on the amount of schools that's also in Jamaica, they are failing us at that too. Because that's why we don't have a bilingual society. Because the class numbers don't support teaching it. And maths amongst blacks require a small class size. They can't have 40 man in a maths class. Because when me
some schools have 60 per class.
Me there at the back, and I see that the man there fire square, and I say, right, I feel done say so. Come like my last at the back. But you need about 15.
And especially in schools that get the bottom of the barrier. The dregs.
So
the government should be ensuring that those class sizes are no more than 20. Because how can you have 40 students in grade 7 and they are reading at grade 4 or grade 5 level, but they are expected to learn? Not to mention, because I'm a teacher, I teach history, social studies and tourism to Cape. I'm not talking about Cape, because they're much better when they come at Cape. But I'm teaching grade 7 history, and half of the class can't read.
And you're technically, you shouldn't be a reading specialist because you're only trained for history.
Talk the truth to God love. And then what I always say to my superiors and the teachers that I lead to, history is a reading subject, as a literacy specialist as well. No, you could have all the activities in the world. When it comes to certain subjects, you can't go around the content.
You have to read.
Because the students have to know the content. You could have summarized till your week. Point in case again. We are doing the Asian Revolution. You could have nice it up and carry on and go on, but the people never have to know the content.
Yeah.
They have to know the content. That is not at the grade 9. They have to know the content. A lot of these teachers at these prestigious schools, them could have never teach Asian Revolution to a class of non-readers. They could not do it.
It's going to be hard because I'm in a class, I'm just giving some things to write down, and I see a boy ear writing. The man hand is like 2 inches from the page, and him there while everybody was writing.
Are you top school or this one before?
Well, I'm not calling
the one before.
No, I'm not going to state the school, but I'm saying it's sad to know say you have students even at grade 9 and can't write.
True.
Can't read, and you're just going through the system like a conveyor belt.
Yeah, and then sometimes when we find out, because I teach at one of those struggling schools, when we find out that the students have certain challenges, it is so difficult to get them the help that they need, because micro care center is really good for a lot of them, but sometimes the waiting list
look at it
out of the frame to get into micro care center.
The Jamaica lifelong whatever. We don't have a culture of saying I need help as an adult to read. I don't have the facilities.
So, and you'll be ridiculed.
Education needs bigger attention, man. Much more, because in terms of education, it's not only teachers and students, it has to be the parents. Because if you show interest as a parent in your child's work, they will have some more pride. And you have some parents, all them want to know is that them give them money, send them to school.
And they don't care zero.
Yeah, because the parent come and don't know which shift the child on, much less class.
Don't even know the name of the farm teacher. Don't know which class. Boy, it's such a shame. When SBA time and the parents them pay the money for the subject, you know.
What
And you say, Miss Brown, you know, say Akelia, you know, give me the SBA. I know, she have SBA, I do. So she feel like, I mean, nothing, no care in the world.
But you know what I find funny? Even in some of the well-to-do schools, you have parents that have the knowledge of SBA and the child come, I have the help. But the parent is at home. Some parents have 10 subjects, 15.
And have degrees.
Yeah, and have degrees and they're not helping. All I believe, teacher and student.
Teacher must say,
You are your child's first student, and even COVID show you know, that many parents just want to have children and schools to be the babysitters to take care of them.
True.
I've seen a child get lit down by a bus and the mother still carry him come school the next day for go for a field trip.
And him get licked down by a bus?
Then look how many times children sick and deathbed and Pitney still come to school. When them come to school?
Well, yeah, that is true. Especially, you can imagine when COVID now, and some of them have the signs and symptoms of COVID, they might come to school same way.
Put on your mask.
Why?
You can't touch them.
It's time, it's full time now for parents and students demand more. Not just only from their teachers, but from the government. Because the government using a divide and rule. They must say parents are paying really too into teachers, so they blame teacher all the time.
Teachers
and say, well, we are paying them for. We need to require, and the government put under so many PD over the summer. But yes, it's true, me know for suit them sorrow and heal them moon. Check me off the era, I tell you fellow teachers how for suit them sorrow and heal them moon. Ain't much PD if you follow them, your whole summer is overtaken by personal, you have to do personal development. Excuse me? No, excuse you and see your way out. But anyway, off the era, I'll tell you. You see me, it's time parents and students demand more for the government. From the government, they are the ones in charge of policy, not us as teachers. We run our classrooms sometimes, we have to fight hard to be in charge of our very own classrooms, much less policy. Demand more for your government. We need the state of education to be in a better position so we can come close to the 2030 vision.
Impossible, but
We say close.
yes.
Close. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, share, comment and subscribe.
But before we go, it is also a thing where we need to stop discriminating. When a child goes to a school, still support them. Not because it's not a
traditional high school.
Still support them because even our athletes, most of the top athletes, they're never going to name brand school.
True.
And now we'll support them. So your child can be a star, but just like any other things, they need a fire to light them and push them forward.
I fully endorse this message.
So you might see another video. It's don't think of the same shirt we went 2 days.
That's it for now.